want to bring you back to 2001 Afghanistan and a reconnaissance mission that you're on, and the concept of, in essence, kind of changing your path after that event. I'd love to be in the Suburban with you as this is unfolding. Tell me, how does it unfold?
We get to Afghanistan. We are the advance, four of us, the advance for our assault squadron. We're going to turn over with a Delta Force squadron that's there. And so we didn't have our kit. And powers that be said, it's pretty safe here around Bagram and Kabul. You can drive around, do some route reconnaissance missions. Well, one day, the highest ranking guy among us comes up and says, well, we're going to drive to Jalalabad from Bagram. That is about a 10-hour drive over some really rough roads where there are some really bad people. My first thought and my first expression was absolutely not, bad idea. I kept up that fight, but I eventually bowed to rank. And then when you do that, I tried to manage what I could. And I said, well, I'm not driving there in a thin-skinned pickup truck. We know that there are bandits out there. Forget the Taliban. There's just people that if they see you, they're going to take advantage of it. And that guy said, okay, I'll see if I can't get us the general's armored vehicle, that Suburban. And he did. But that Suburban is meant for driving around roads in Philadelphia and stuff like that.
Right.
Well-paved,
Broad Street, right.
Roads, right? The Main Street kind of thing. And I looked at this thing and I thought, wow. And the second thing I looked at were the tires. And I said, again, trying to forestall this drive, I said, those are not run flat tires. They're not run flat tires. In other words, if they get shot, they hold air. Still, the guy who was in charge said, oh no, they are run flat tires. I asked the supply guy who's in charge of this vehicle if they were run flat tires, and he told me they were. Well, it turns out they were run flat tires. They ran flat real fast, right? Kind of thing. So we do the drive. We get shot at on the way. Already the hair on the back of our neck is standing up. It takes way longer than it's supposed to. We do get to Jalalabad. There's an airfield there that is ours. There is a safe house there with CIA agents in it that is ours. We know where it is. And again, I put my foot down and said, we have got to stay here overnight. We cannot drive back on that road. And I was outranked. And, lo and behold, about an hour after the sun went down, we got ambushed, made it through the ambush about 200 meters. But that was it. Now, we were ambushed not by anybody. We were ambushed by people working with us who wanted our rifles. And that's what they got. They got our rifles. And
wow.
Yeah. And, luckily we're not dead. That armored vehicle, 4 bullets came through it. One of them hit the guy who was driving. When we saw that ambush setting up, I leaned over his shoulder and slapped him and said, punch it. And he floored it and got through the gauntlet. But, as I said, only about 200 meters before all 4 tires were running on rims.
Rims, right? Yeah. So out of the blackness comes Jeeps and trucks. They pull you over. We're in the Suburban. Are you saying I'm about to meet my maker?
I didn't feel that I was about to meet the maker, but I did call back. The only place we could get a hold of was our command in Virginia Beach. I called back. I'm talking to a young sailor. He's not a SEAL who mans the quarterdeck. And I said, hey, this is Dave Cooper. I'm in Red Squadron. Here are my coordinates. We've just been ambushed and we need help. And the kid is dead silent. I said, hey, tell me what I just said to you. And and he reads it back. And I said, that's it. And I signed off. And that was it. We were rescued by Delta Force and the SBS, so our British counterparts, the Special Boat Service. And what happened when we got back to Bagram that night is, I stepped up in front of my teammates, the Delta guys that I knew, and the SBS guys, and talked about it openly. What were we thinking? What was the information we had, et cetera, and laid it all out there. But the guy who was that highest ranking person would never admit to failure. And he spiraled from there and he was, quickly moved out of the SEAL teams. But that ability, we all make mistakes. Mine was in bowing to rank. I should have gone around him. From 2001 on, encourage guys, if you don't agree with me and you think that there's a moral hiccup here or an ethical one and you can't get your way and the team's not seeing it, by all means, go around me.